Eagles and the Giants. Currently, Philadelphia, they are now 5-point favorites, 5.5-point favorites at BetMGM. Total of 41, and Philadelphia can still win the NFC East, but they do have to win this game, and they do need to get some help.
This team was 10-1, guys. Isn't that amazing? 10-1, and then now they've lost 4 of their last 5. They are horrendous. And the Giants look a lot better with Tyrod. I wonder if this number gets back to where we were at 6. We just saw this matchup on Christmas, right? Eagles win. I don't believe, they didn't cover that game. The Giants ended up covering, but it always felt like it felt like the Eagles should have won by a lot more than they did. And, they dominated the box score. They outgained them by almost 200 yards. Swift had a good game. Saquon did pretty good. Like, that's the thing. This Eagles defense is horrendous. Just awful. They know that they're in, and it's just like, if you're the Eagles, what is your mindset here? Are you gung-ho on this? Like, do you think that the Cowboys are going to lose just for that chance of getting that 2 seed? And maybe the argument that you make if you're Sirianni is we need to get right. But I don't know that that's the case. Very curious about this game. Anybody want to lay it with the Eagles right now? On the road, 5.5?
No, in fact, I was thinking I should have put them as my worst team in the power rankings.
I thought about it, but Hurts and just making the Super Bowl last year, that was hard for me to do. And Hurts is still there, so
I don't have a problem with it. I probably would put them on. I mean, it is crazy what has happened with this team. I don't even know how you can make sense of it, but I do think that this is like a last-ditch effort to get something together heading into the playoffs. Like, you can't take your foot off the gas after the performances that they've put out there on the field. Like, what would give you the reason to think that? And now, like, we're saying, oh, Nick Sirianni, it's his fault. Ed was saying yesterday, maybe it's Jalen Hurts' fault. Like, this is a disaster that's going on in Philadelphia right now. This has to be the last time this is a get right spot, because they're now out of options.
And then worst. All right, I wrestled with this one. But in the end, I mean, it isn't all that hard. I mean, it's, you could look at a team that might make the playoffs or most likely to make the playoffs. But let's talk about a team that is for sure in, that I think has the worst quarterback, head coach, play caller group. Put a star on it. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Come on. You
What?
Mike McCarthy. I don't need to back it up. And it was on display again on Saturday. Mike McCarthy. Nut cutting time. Here we go in the playoffs. Gladly, I will fade the hell out of you. I'm not buying into McCarthy. And Dak, no. I'm good. Worst.
Wow. How is that a wow? That's all I got.
You think McCarthy's
They're
a good
the
coach?
worst?
You holding on to that?
Yes.
Okay, I could sit here and give you, I'm going to give Baker and Todd Bowles. Like, okay, whatever.
No. I didn't do that. No. My worst is someone in the playoffs. Don't worry. Like, I'm following that logic. But
no, but they're probably going to be in. They're probably going to be in, but that's the easy thing to do, I think. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, Canales and Bowles and Baker. Like, okay, fine.
Actually, I have someone worse than the Bucs as far as the worst, assuming they get in. So I'm there, but anyway.
I was kind of looking at Miami's team total possibly going under. You look at the Bills right now. They kind of do a good mix on defensive zone and man-to-man, and that works out well against the Dolphins because the Dolphins have been able to burn a lot of teams in man with guys like Waddle and Hill, but they have trouble with zone. And Buffalo is more than comfortable playing some zone defense. And we did see them back in week 4 limit some of those receivers for Miami on defense. And then this Bills defense has been fantastic since week 14. They're number 4 in EPA allowed per play in that span. And this game, of course, has that playoff-like atmosphere. It's for all the marbles in the AFC East and that playoff game on the line. And then we could potentially see some rain, even hail in this game. I was doing the weather report for this one yesterday. And there's thunderstorms in the area all day Sunday. They could roll into Sunday night. No crazy winds, but we could see some rain. Like I said, potentially hail could make that field a little slicker as well too. And I think that will somewhat nullify the speed and agility of the Dolphins. This is a team that loves to run to the outside, catch that edge. If the field is wet and the footing's not great, then they may not be able to have as great a traction there. And the Bills are a team that wants to run downhill between the tackles. So I kind of like Buffalo here to be able to hold them back with a little bit of zone coverage and then run the ball and keep the ball out of the hands of an explosive Miami defense. So kind of looking Dolphins under team total. Like you said, this total is at 49 points out there. It's one of the highest totals of the year in a year where we've seen some almost historically low totals.
Aaron, you probably know this because you bet the NBA, right? And you probably don't love the NBA because how could you love betting the NBA? It's terrible.
Tough.
It's tough. So I won 9 straight NBA bets in November to end November, and then I lost 6 straight NBA bets in December. So I quit, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to see the calendar flip. I'm going to get back on it. I'm going to win a bet on January 1st and 2nd. Then I'm going to hop back in the 3rd. So last night I had the Sixers minus 10.5. Great start by them. They just covered by 13. I like the Bucks today because I watched this Pacers game a few days ago on New Year's Eve, and I was leaning the over really hard in that game. End up not playing it myself and the under cash, but the Pacers got a big win there. They're now 3-1 against the Bucks this season, and they beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee on New Year's Day, which is embarrassing for them and the fans. So Milwaukee, more than anything, wants to hand them a home loss here as a return. It was really the fourth quarter which separated them because Indiana outscored them by 13 in that quarter to pull away, and the Greek Freak had a triple-double. But I think this is a great spot for the Bucks to get a little revenge here, get out to a good start. And I think they play a little bit better defense, not saying much when neither team plays defense, but I think Damian Lillard and the company will look good. If Middleton plays, this spread will go out to probably -5.
I think it's basically which guys am I backing sort of thing. Was kind of because Joe thinks I've got a list of guys, and he might be right, but so I was telling these guys, Joe, I have bets. You guys have twisted my arm into betting like a full card on this tournament. So I have my outrights, but I think you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah,
as well.
Twisted your arm, Paul. We have your family hostage for sure. We're forcing you to make these bets
by making a joke after the show ended. All right, what do we have right now? How many outrights? Are there any matchups?
It was 4 yesterday. Did you add more?
Yeah. So I had the 4 outrights yesterday, and now I have a couple more bombs, some matchups, top 20. So we're kicking off the season in grand style. Yeah.
Form isn't even a thing, and you're all chips center of the table.
Course history. Yeah, but I've played the course, so I obviously have course.
I got knowledge.
Playing the course. Well, that means know it.
Yeah. And I'm not even saying these are bad bets, because I think there's a strong case for this one. On your card, definitely Tony Finau.
Tony Finau is on the card.
That's right.
Ooh, I have
28 to 1
too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with Sung Jae.
Sung Jae is on the card. Sung Jae is on the card. 35 to 1.
Finau and Sung Jae 4 here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh boy.
He has decent course history there.
There's a layup here.
Oh, we're 2 for 2. We haven't missed anything yet.
Tagala, I'm saving him. That's easy.
Well, then I'm taking it. Sahith Theegala. You got him on the card?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I already wrote it down.
I didn't
even have to wait for his response. I wrote it down. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
70 on our guy Theegala. So this is his year. I was pretty confident.
This is his year. Clip it.